Hello, people. Welcome back to Vaesen Behind the Masks. This is now session 33, I think. Welcome once again to Blake, Sharon, and Jim. So, last week we had a bit of an interesting conversation between Agatha and the leader of the Order of the Black Rose, Katarina Sforza, which ended up with a theological bitch slapping between one and the other. I don't know quite who won that conversation. And Dr. Bennett and Severino were enjoying New Year's atmosphere, but still looking for Agatha, who was MIA. Never actually found her before all hell broke loose. The fireworks ended up being a diversion for several explosions that rocked Venice, and Severino and Bennett were scattered amongst the crowd as they stampeded to try and get away from the explosion. So, Severino, your last man still has to go. So, what would you like to do? Last we saw, you were in the crowd. And
Yep,
during
I was hanging onto a pole to not get swept away.
Yep.
So great. Now
Bennett
lost Bennett and Agatha.
Yes.
Agatha.
Correct.
Bugger. Things are going swimmingly.
They were. And there's people all around you. They're shouting, they're screaming. You still hear the occasional pop, pop, pop. Give me a learning roll.
Learning?
Yep.
Yeah.
At least Severino's never truly alone, you know?
Yeah, that's not comforting. One success.
You know explosive explosions when you hear them.
Yeah. I'm not fooled by this bullshit. I'm going to climb onto a roof.
You're going to climb onto a roof. All right.
Yeah, I want to get up where I can see what's going on. Agility. All right.
Yes, because you're going to have to go and climb up some doorways and stuff.
Oh my god. 5 dice and I failed. I'm pushing
That's
this
fine.
bugger.
You start to climb and you're almost, I don't know, meter and a half up, and someone brushes against your feet as they're rushing past, and they dislodge your feet for a second, and you're just gripping on with your fingertips. But you're a strong man. You just kind of wrestle yourself up and keep climbing up, and it takes you a little bit, and it's not very elegant, but you are not Spider-Man.
No.
But you make it to the top.
The guy that knocked me, I'll flip him off, and right now I'm going to look around, and I'm like, Bennett, Agatha.
Well, you're at least 2 stories up now on a roof.
Yep.
Bennett, give me an observation roll. Let's see if you can see Bennett in that crowd, because you sure as hell aren't going to see Agatha. She's all tied up.
Not in a good way. Nothing.
Nothing. There's too much movement. There's too much shadow. There's lights flickering everywhere.
The mental condition was anger, because I think I'm pissed off. I think like our team is under attack, or the city's under attack, and I'm like, I can't see them. Where the hell are they? All these pesky people are in the bloody way. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, that's a problem with chaos. It's really hard to narrow things down a little bit. So, what would you like to do?
I'm going to wait.
You're going to stand
there. I'm annoyed and I'm shaking a bit, but I'm just gonna look around and just look. I'm looking for something like Agatha or Bennett or someone who's a recognizable enemy, or I'll just wait a bit.
Yeah, sure. You can stand up there and wait for 5-10 minutes. That's fine. The crowd's thinning out. There's still a few people out there. You hear whistles as Carabinieri surge onto the street from all directions. Like, they're running around the city just trying to deal with things. They're trying to understand what's happened. They're trying to help people. There's been people that have been injured. Not deliberately. That's one thing you've noticed. There's actually, for all those explosions, there's not really a body count. There are people, yes, with a bit of some shrapnel wounds and whatever, but nothing.
Yeah, I got my suspicions about this rubbish. Okay. Well, I'll climb down then.
Yep. you clamber back down and you're onto one of the canals.
In the absence of anything else, I think I'll head back to the villa in case I've gone home.
You start making your way towards the villa. Give me a vigilance.
Christ, if I get mugged again, I'm in deep shit. 1.
One success.
Yes.
You are being followed.
Sweet. I'll, yeah, when I get a chance to duck around an alley or a crate, I'll sort of duck around and crouch down and I'll pull my gun out.
Yep. So you do that. You duck around a corner and then you double back behind some crates that are just by the edge. And sure enough, within about 15 seconds, you see a man walking past quite quickly. And he's kind of looking here, there, everywhere. He's just trying to, you presume, search for you.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly go up behind him and say, tell me why you're following me or I'm going to blow your head off.
He's going to spin
Mm-hmm.
and shove you in the chest.
I do have a close combat talent, so I should be able to, like, dodge or resist or something.
Mm-hmm. Go on, let's see whose dice rolls, eh?
Yep.
I've got 4. You've no doubt got more than I do.
So this is close combat?
Yeah, that's going to be a 4th roll, actually.
Well, either way, I get a bonus.
What are you going to do?
I'm trying to sort of lean back and grab his arm so I can push him down.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be a 4th.
Glad I got these talents. Don't let me down now. Of course I did. I got no successes.
That's all right, so did I.
I'm really good at combat, you just wouldn't think so.
So you two end up in a grapple. He failed, you failed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, what the fuck do you want?
He can't pull back because then he'll be leaving himself exposed. So he's going to try to hit you. What are you going to do?
Yeah, get out of the way so he can't hit me and...
All right.
Well, yeah, try and use his hit so that I can push him down again. So I'm using his momentum against him.
Okay, roll again. I'm not going to get you to do initiative because it's just
Alright,
the 2
so
of you. It's no
2.
point. It's contested rolls. I got 1 success.
Nice. Oh my god.
What success?
Oh, there was. Thank God for that. 7 friggin' dice. Right.
So you two are both evenly matched, and it's
That's not reassuring.
you're thwarting each other's actions and movements, and for every action he does, you have a counter action, and it's pretty
not be
good.
my clone or some bullshit.
This is Vaesen, not the Matrix.
Ah, good. All right.
Yeah.
God, literally as I post it.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Right. Good minds. Let's try again. I've got 4. You've got
7. Yep.
I got 1 success.
One success.
No. All right.
And I'm saying, what do you want?
Cesare sends his regards.
Mate, that's
And
not...
he's going to stomp on your foot. Like, stomp on your foot. And then, if it's successful, when you go, oh, ow, and you bend over because it's instinctual, it's going to crack his knee into your face.
Hopefully. Let's have a go. All right.
1.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
So, he's going to stomp on your foot and crack you in the face. It's not going to cause you any damage. It's just going to knock you out.
Fine.
Fine. But it's all good. Trust me. I'll tell you, Severdon, you're not aware of this. But your ass is going to get picked up, hauled over a shoulder, and moved. Bennett, you are kind of making your way out of the area. It's been a couple of minutes because you've hunkered down for a few minutes just to let people clear and give space before you go back and head towards the villa. Everywhere you go, people are congregating around the churches or the great houses in Venice, and you can hear them saying the statues have been destroyed. There's tension in the air. It's almost electric. And you hear people whispering, it's an Austrian plot. Traitors, there are traitors amongst us. Death to the devils. And you hear the whistles of the carabinieri come to break up these gatherings and try to restore order. As you are fleeing the area, you come across the Tinker's wagon that's been set up in a little square not too far away. It's on the way to the villa. The wagon's sitting there, but there's no movement around it. But you do see the shadow of two bodies lying in proximity to the wagon.
Perhaps slightly more cautiously than when he went towards the fire, he does approach. I think he's probably holding his gut at this point. But yeah, he'll approach and focus on the two bodies first.
Mm-hmm. In front of the wagon, you see that elderly male, and he's lying on the floor. There's a nice little bullet hole in his forehead, and the ground under his head is soaked with blood. And not too far from him, you see Severino lying on the ground with a pistol in his hand, and you can hear the carabinieri getting closer.
Is the old man the Tinkerer?
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Geppetto.
Well, there's not bloody much I can do for him. Do I see anything immediately, like what's caused Severino to be out? Brief
Probably
second.
a bloody nose and a bit of a black eye. You're going to suspect he's been smacked well and truly in the face.
I think he is going to throw the gun backwards. Just grab it out of Severino's hand and chuck it behind, like as far away as he can, and then he's going to start shouting for the police.
Yeah, well, they're coming. Within moments, they run into the square and they see you, and they see the two bodies. Because it's Sucheva, what's happened here?
I don't know. I just found them. This one, he's been shot in the temple. This one I can't. He's got a pulse. I need. I don't have my equipment. I'm a doctor.
Un dottore.
Yes,
You're a
yes,
doctor.
yes. Help me. How close are we to the villa?
Probably maybe 3-4 blocks. Doable.
Yeah, I'm thinking. How big is this like Tinkerer's cart? Could like I move it?
No, it's typically a horse-drawn cart, and you're going to go, how the hell did a horse get into Venice? It didn't. He used a barge. But it's his workshop. It's his whole home. He's in there, so...
Grossly overestimating my ability to think ahead. I would have been like, of course a horse, why not?
Don't worry, I forgot about horses in Venice too last week. I was like, oh.
My clinic is just vaguely. Can you help me carry him?
Yes, so a couple of the junior ones nod, and they just grab Severino and throw one arm over each shoulder, and they follow you to the villa.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I think. No, I don't think Bennett's thinking about that. Jim is like, oh man, wanted to search that Tinkerer. But Bennett will focus. Yeah, he'll lead them to the villa, and now he's I mean, he's already stressed and panicking.
It's evident you're coming to as you're being jostled around. I mean, it wasn't that hard a hit, but it was enough to knock you out for a few minutes. That's all they needed.
What's going on? What, Dr. Bennett, what's happening?
I do not know. I just found you unconscious at the Tinkerer's cart. What happened?
Well, there was some explosions. I ran, and someone was following me, and then, yeah, I woke up with here.
And are you able to walk?
I don't know, am I? I don't have a broken...
No, you're not broken. Nothing's broken. It's just
Okay,
more you're
yep.
a bit woozy. You probably need a bit of help, but you can...
All right, so I'm a little bit unsteady, but I'll walk, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to head back out, try to help.
Yeah.
I'll you go back with these kind
hopefully...
gentlemen and see if she's at the villa.
Yep, okay.
If not, if you're able, bring my doctor's bag to the Tinkerer's cart.
Yep.
So, Benito, you make it to the villa, and Artemisia's there. She's looking a bit fried, a bit shell-shocked as well.
Yep.
But she'll see you, and she'll start to fuss over you.
So is Agatha here?
No, I thought she was with you.
No, we got separated. Then there was a bunch of explosions amongst the fireworks. I think the Order of the Black Rays are up to something. This reeks of their dodginess. Anyway, I got to go back out there. So, if you, Dr. Bennett's out there trying to help people.
Wait, stop.
Yeah, I got to go back out. I need Dr. Bennett's medical bag.
Of course, just rest. Give yourself a couple minutes. I'll get the bag and I'll get some stuff for you. Just rest. And she'll.
He doesn't. He's pacing.
He's angry. He's angry. He's like, argh. So within a couple of minutes, she's got Dr. Bennett's bag, and she'll give it to you, and she'll give you a couple of extra supplies, like another bag as well, just bits and bobs that you may need.
Okay. Thank you. Stay here and lock the door.
And please find Agatha. I'm concerned.
I'm concerned too. All right, and I'll head off.
And speaking of, but you're going to flick to Agatha very, very quickly. Agatha, you are still tied up in that chair by the time midnight rolls around. You don't get to watch the fireworks, but you certainly get to hear the fireworks. And then, within moments of the fireworks starting, you hear muted thumps that travel through the soil under your feet, and you know that's not, you just instinctively know that's not fireworks. Fireworks doesn't have that sort of deep resonance. And a loud one above your head, in the room above your head, there's a big bang, and dust and debris and rocks shower down over you from the ceiling above. And after another moment or two, Lucrezia bounds into the room. She has a big smile on her face and a large, very large knife in her hands as she approaches you. Mama says it must happen this way. I'll be rid of you, just like I was rid of Attilo, and your precious Fanelaria will be closed and there'll be no one left. And then Mother will be so pleased with me. I destroyed the Fanelaria. She has the knife in her hand, and she, quick as a snake, drives the point of the knife into the arm of the chair where you're tied to. She misses you just, but the knife is within your grasp. You can actually reach it, and you have a feeling that she'd done that deliberately. Oh, before I forget, please pass on my regards to Severino. It's been fun dodging all those scandalous rumors. But we had a revenge. We told the Austrians where to find him. Ciao. And she runs off into the corridor. So you're there alone with a knife in your fingertips.
I'll say it. I don't like her. I don't think she's a very good person.
No, what could give you that idea? Yeah, if Agatha has been cut loose, she will get up, dust herself off, and very calmly go back up the stairs.
You go back up the stairs. The door is able to be opened, so you walk out into the main area where the altar is of the church, and you glance over where that statue was, that beautiful man-eating statue that gave you the serious EBGBs, and it's been destroyed, absolutely demolished. And all there's left is part of the plinth. There's smoke, there's an acrid smell of cordite hanging heavy in the air, and there's just fragments of this material and bit of metal and mostly wood just scattered everywhere. The windows nearby have been blown out. For all intents and purposes, that statue is no more.
We'll just pick up her skirts and step over the mess and leave the church.
Outside, the carnage has rippled right across Venice. You just see the same sort of damage everywhere you go. In the great houses, in the churches, a lot of statues have been blown up.
Somewhat extreme.
So we're heading back?
Yeah, she would just walk slowly to the villa, and if anyone stops her, she will feign concussion.
No one stops you. Bennett and Severino, do you stumble across Agatha on your way back?
Well, Bennett, I don't think Bennett got super far away from the cart, and he does want to sort of search the Tinkerer and the cart while he waits for Severino to get his doctor's bag.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the way out, so we headed towards them as they're heading home, I guess.
Okay. Give me an investigation. Bow.
God damn, I'm gonna push this one too. All
right. You look in the cart. You step over the old man's body and you step into the cart. It is very much a tinkerer's cart. There's a little tiny cot in the far corner. There's cooking, there's a bit of clothing, but the major bulk of the wagon is given over to a desk and tools of the trade for a carpenter. So you get your awls, you get your axes, you get your sanders and whatever. Above the desk there's a small shelf and there's books on it. You're going to go for one of the older books or one of the newer books? Yeah, they're all various ages, I should say. They go from old to new-ish.
I'm going to go with newer.
Newer? You open up the book and it's like a sketchbook. And it's almost like looking at some Leonardo da Vinci's work. It's really beautiful. It's very systemic. The person who wrote this was a master. He knew exactly what he was doing, draws beautifully. The artistic talent is really incredibly evident. You gonna go for one of the older ones?
Sure, yeah. I'll pocket the old sketchbook though.
Yeah, you can pocket the sketchbook. They're just designs for like statues and just different designs.
Yeah.
The older one, because you've got your one success, but I'll give it two anyway. As you're flicking through it, the start of that first book, it's really janky. It's really amateurish. You understand that this is probably very early in his career as a carpenter, but the designs just don't work. They're all misshapen, disproportionate. They're not good. And then as you flick from one page to the other, something has happened. It looks like, from that point onwards, it looks like the stuff you picked from his newer stuff. So from the old stuff to the new stuff, it's like his skill level just increased 1,000-fold overnight, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Definitely went down to Georgia. Stuff going on here. Okay. Yeah, I'll take those. How many books are we talking?
He's been doing it his whole life, so let's say there's 11.
I'll certainly grab a few of the newer ones and the one that has the sort of change in skill. And then, as I didn't find anything on the Tinkerer himself.
I don't think you patted down the Tinkerer himself.
Could I?
You can.
I mean, how busy is it currently?
Well, there's kind of a Nieta around. You kind of took the opportunity to slip in while no one was looking, but you are pushing your luck.
That's fair enough. I pushed my luck. Yep. Yeah. I will find a spot to wait for Severino, I think.
Mm-hmm. You going back to the villa, or are you just gonna?
No, just like at the crime scene or whatever, at the scene, but just like not right next to the cart or anything.
Yep. Severino, do you think you'll stumble across Bennett, or are you going to be a little bit further awry?
Well, if Agatha's going home, I'll probably run into her as I'm headed towards Bennett.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, Agatha, you are heading back. You look a bit disheveled yourself. You've been, well, manhandled and tied up and not quite spanked, but close. And Severino has been roughed up good and proper and then set up to stage a murder, and yeah, he's not looking all that sharp.
I don't even realise that because I was unco for half of it.
You're unco for half of it.
Yeah, so I say, oh, Agatha, we've been looking for you. All hell's break loose in the city. Are you okay?
That is a question that has a very lengthy response.
Alright.
Where is the doctor?
The doctor's near the tavern where we're just at. I'm just taking him his medical bag. He's helping people. You can come with me, or you can head back to the villa.
I think I shall join you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I ran into this scumbag out of fight with.
Yes, that is something that we shall need to discuss at some length. I wish I could say that my evening has been uneventful, and I had rather wish that we had stayed at home.
Well, so did I, but Dr. Bennett wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, what idiot!
Yes.
Sent us out here.
But
I have no idea.
The fact that, Cesare sent his regards when I was attacked, it makes me think, that Black Rose mob, I think they're doing some sort of protection racket. They're trying to, influence town and stuff. That's what I think's going on.
I think their plan is a little more nefarious than that.
Doesn't surprise me, but okay.
We should gather the doctor. I don't think there is anything that he can do to assist the major victims of the carnage tonight, unless he has learnt to mend wood and stone.
Scratch books.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll hurry to the tavern.
Then you find Bennett. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Hartwell, thank God, I was terrified. Where were you? And there's the tiniest hint of scolding in his voice that normally Miss Hartwell dishes out.
Yes, Doctor. I think I have learnt a very strong lesson in not wandering off. But please, can you... I do know that it is perhaps against your nature, but I do believe that we should retire to the villa forthwith.
No,
There
we're
is
in complete
not
agreement.
a lot you can do here.
I've had my fill of helping people for this evening. They have shown their kindness, and I don't need any more of it. he touches his ribs. And as we're sort of heading back towards the village, as soon as we get out of earshot, I'll go to Severino. Your pistol, do you legally own it? Is it tied to you in any way?
Oh, my pistol's missing. What the hell?
Yes, apologies for that. I had to fling it away from I believe a staged crime scene, unless you did in fact shoot the Tinkerer, statue man.
No, he was going to make a statue of me. I was going to be naked and everything.
Well, you'll just have to be naked for some other reason, I'm afraid. But yeah, I do hope that pistol wasn't of particular, a cherished.
I was lucky enough to find that pistol on my way to Italy. It is not tied to me.
I won't inquire further. But that is good to hear that it is not tied to you. Yeah, so let's get out of these godforsaken streets.
Do you head back to the villa?
Yep.
By now it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Things are quietening down, although there's still that tension in the air. The whole city has been shaken to its very core. But you make it back to the villa safe and sound. Artemisia unlocks the door and lets you in and then bars it again. You're all back, thank goodness. I was scared. You all well?
No.
Well enough, I've got a cracking headache. You wouldn't happen to have a pot boiling, would you? Tea would be perfect.
Boys, come on, into the kitchen.
We are not well, but we have survived. There is much to discuss and debate upon. You and your father are okay?
Yes.
Is it father or grandfather?
Grandfather.
Yeah, sorry, you and your
thought it was a
grandfather are
granddad.
okay. Yep.
Of course. Yes, we stayed here. We're watching the fireworks from the garden. We realised something wasn't right.
Good call.
Delightful pixies in the garden, they're okay as well.
Yes, they're still there. They're fine.
Good.
Nothing's happened to the house. Nothing untoward has happened to us, so we're perfectly safe here.
I am glad to hear that. Artemisia,
Si, signora.
I know that you have been used to perhaps going around unchaperoned in Venice. I do not believe that will be a very good idea in the coming weeks.
No?
No. For your own protection and safety.
What happened?
It seems that the Order of the Black Rose wishes to assert their authority and control over Venice. They have done so by somewhat violent means, despite their assertion that violence is the resort of the uneducated.
So you believe this was them, or?
I know this was them. You asked where I disappeared? I spotted Cesare in the crowd and followed him to a church.
I slapped Severine on the shoulder. Told you she'd be in a bloody church.
Let her finish.
He had also, it seems, spotted me, and well, there is a reason that all these statues in Venice were blown to smithereens tonight. And your tinker, I assume, the one who crafted them, slain?
Dead. Bullet between the eyes. Framed to make it look like it's Severino had done it.
Yes.
Wait, what the hell? I didn't shoot anyone.
the Black Rose has two primary aims in this activity. They wish to implicate us in the damage that is done and thus close Venice to the society. But also, that sculptor, and she'll kind of sit very heavily down. I did watch a votive effigy of a saint eat a supplicant.
What? Do you understand what she just said?
Stay out. Is that some sort of colourful metaphor?
I am afraid not, Doctor. The sculpture opened its wooden jaw and swallowed a man whole.
So,
That's not good.
so are these the same sculptures that we think exploded, or different?
I think that the Black Rose was not taking any chances over any sculptures, and thus destroyed them all.
So hold on. Do we think the statues were the explosives, or do you think the statues were destroyed to cover the explode? Like, what do we think the statues' purposes were, other than eating people?
I think there were
Black-
like spirits or evil things in the statues, and the Black Rose just blew them all up. Because that's how they deal with any spirits, Vaesen or whatever.
Right. So okay. See, I was thinking they killed the Tinkerer to like tie up loose ends, but you think they killed him because he was doing bad Vaesen shit.
All of the above. Yep.
I guess that makes more sense.
I believe that there is a ongoing war with the Vaesen, which, if anything, has come to light in these past months. If there is a war, they are the ones who have started it and perpetuate it.
So
Do
are we
not
saying that
believe-
they, this evening, destroyed, killed, murdered, whichever word you would find most fitting, a series of evil spirits across the city? Why did they not attack the villa here? Is it do you believe it's the protective wards?
I do think that to do such would be more of a declaration than they wish to make. It is perhaps easier for them to have us removed in more indirect ways. It is also about political control, Doctor. Who has power in Venice? Who will control the destiny of Venice? We have no desire for such, but it is enough that the Black Rose thinks that we do.
Well, it seems like it is now an extremely dangerous place to be. I mean, they seem so much better funded, more numerous. Could you imagine us trying to achieve a similar goal? It's taken us weeks to bring down a few Vaesen. They did a city-wide sweep in a single evening. Not to mention, beating our good friend Severino here after death again.
Doctor, consider the methods. However, it is easy to resort to and perpetrate violence.
Yes, no, I don't. I'm not condoning their actions, though cool they may be. More the sheer scale on which they are operating compared to us. I just feel somewhat, I don't know, a little hopeless this evening, I'm afraid.
No, if it was only like 10 explosions, they could have had 2 or 3 people do it over the day. It's not like they leveled the entire city. It's doable. that you shouldn't discount our competence.
And as I said, Doctor, violence is always easier.
I know, but they also, in that same breath, attacked you, Severino, kidnapped poor Miss Hartwell, and I got the shit beaten truly out of me, though I don't know if that's related or not. That could honestly just have been that Bennett charm that you've all come to love. No, you're of course right. I know I have no point. I'm just there's a lot to this evening, is all.
Yes.
But I guess we also saw there a particular brand of justice against humans as well. That sculptor, he was not tried, he was not judged by his peers, executed. Not like the
You did seem judgmental towards him when I was going to go with him to make a statue.
Yes, but I never put a cap in him, Severino. I'm just saying they have a similar opinion as the God, I always get her name wrong. Ice Queen? Snow Queen?
The Sunblanca.
Yeah. Suppose my last question is, what do we think our next step should be? Seems that we are somewhat at war now.
We will need to think. We'll need to think, what are their goals? What can we do to stop them and achieve our goals? It's not something we should rush into. Have a good think. Look at all our options, our resources.
Yes, I think we should definitely contact
Ana La Rosa.
Yeah.
It's a question.
And also check that they're okay, I suppose. Could also be in danger.
We're going to leave you pondering overnight.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave your characters in the kitchen, hunkered around that fire, deep in thought and conversation. So I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's session. Thank you once again to Blake, Jim and Sharon for being such good sports and letting me blow them up and tie them to chairs and knocking them out. Hope we'll see you all again next week. Ciao.